Okay, so Laura and I have been friends since freshman year of high school, and it started because we both had brown hair, hazel eyes, and we were both born in April, and we decided that that made us soul sisters. But I'm really glad that that happened, because over the years, we've discovered so many values and traits that have bonded us as sisters, especially in the last 6 months planning this wedding. You are truly the most selfless and caring person I've ever met, and you are the greatest friend I could ever ask for. But it's not just me that has the honor of calling you friend or sister, but the entire wedding party. And you have gained so much family through this wedding, not only through Tim, but also your friends are your family. And I think all of us up there and here can agree that being part of this close circle of friends that has gotten to know Laura and Tim as individuals is amazing, but being part of the group that has gotten to witness them grow together as a couple and become man and wife is a blessing that has truly given me hope and brought tears to all of our eyes. I spent a lot of time with Laura and Tim, especially these last months, and seeing how they are together or how they talk about each other when they're apart. The love that they have for each other is evident, and I cannot think of another couple that is more perfectly matched in their own unique way. But as with all relationships, there will be challenges, but that is what is so great about love and relationships, is learning to grow together, caring and sharing with a little or sometimes a lot of patience. And the two of you are better prepared to face these challenges than most, because you two put each other first, but most importantly, you keep God at the center. So going forward, that is my only advice. Continue keeping God at the center of your relationship, because through Christ all things are possible. And I'm sure everyone here tonight feels the same when I say, I cannot wait to see what the Lord has in store for your future, but it will be a privilege to watch it happen. To Tim and Laura.
Hi, I'm Levi, Tim's brother. I'll make this short, like Tim, and sweet, like Laura. Today is a bittersweet day for me. My brother Tim is getting married, obviously. With this, I'm accepting I'll have to share his attention with Laura. I'm thinking a 60-40 split in my favor is fair. All jokes aside, I'll miss seeing you every day. We've been close our whole lives, but I can still remember the first time Tim hugged me. I was 12. That summer, we often biked the Eau Claire River by our house to do some fishing. When it was time to leave per our mom's orders, he started up the embankment. I hung back for a couple extra casts, and 5 to 10 minutes later, I finally trudged up the hill. When I came through the brush, I found Tim sweaty and out of breath. What he did next shook me to my very core. He hugged me. As it turns out, he thought I had slipped, fallen, and hit my head on a rock and drowned. Now, the reason this story holds so much meaning to me is because since then we have fought countless times, much to our mom's dismay. But one thing has always stayed constant. My brother has always been there for me, always puts down what he's doing, and helps me with my problems, no matter how insignificant they may be. Over the years, he's taught me so much, from fixing things, making a redneck hot tub, how to take punches in the shoulders, thigh, spleen, you name it. But most importantly, he's the nicest, most genuine, and caring person I know. And I know you'll be the same for your wife by always putting her first. Laura, I hold your husband in the absolute highest regard, and you match him quality for quality. You are already our family. Your witty jokes, quick puns, infectious laugh, and countless goofy faces highlight just one great quality you have. Aside from humor, you are thoughtful, give the best gifts. It's really uncanny how good you are at giving great gifts. Lost my spot, sorry. And provide the perfect other half for my brother. Someday I hope to find someone who can make me even a fraction as happy as you make them. I love both of you and cannot wait to see where your married life takes the two of you. Thank you.
It's a few weeks ago now that I looked forward to this day and knew that I'd say pretty much everything I had to say during the course of the actual wedding service. So I went to talk to the father of the groom, and he knew right away what I wanted, and he said, "No, I'm not going to give that speech for you." I said, "Come on, cut me a break." And so he said, "Okay, we'll team up on it. We'll team up on it." So this is the father of the bride's speech as augmented by the father of the groom. I'd like to thank Seth for being volunteered to do this. What we're going to do is give you a little history of the story of Tim and Laura from the dad's perspective.
I guess I get to start. First, thank you, Bruce. Thanks for the message today during the service. And I'd like to say that I'm honored to talk a little bit about Tim. If I were to describe Tim, I would say that he is tough and gentle. There was one time that Levi shot him with a blow dart, and it went through his finger, kind of stuck in his fingernail and came out the other side. And Tim tried to pull it out by himself, but he couldn't quite get it. It was pretty tough. And then I remember he came into the house to tell my mom, or my wife about it, his mom, and he held his hands behind his back and he said, "Mom, don't freak out. I'm going to show you something. Don't freak out." And I thought that was a good picture of Timothy
tough and gentle at the same time. Tim is both smart and hardworking. He's always been good at figuring things out. He's always enjoyed taking things apart, and lately he's even gotten good at putting them back together. You probably have heard that Timothy is into Broncos a little bit. His vehicle is over there that he's going to drive away tonight. And I have to tell you, I was pretty impressed, maybe a little bit afraid for him when he told me he was going to pull the engine and rebuild it basically on his own. And I'm pretty proud of him for that, very impressed. But even more than that, I'm impressed that Timothy has the type of character that he's the guy that will help you out without even being asked. Timothy, your mom and I couldn't be more proud of the man that you've grown into. Now, when Timothy and Levi were younger, each morning they would get their juice fix in their sippy cups. And Timothy was, of course, bigger, and he would leave his sippy cup on the edge of the counter. And Levi, when he got tall enough, would finish his juice, and then he would go for Timothy's sippy cup. And I thought it was kind of funny, but his mom, or Erin, moved the sippy cup away. And when she left, I kind of slid it back to see if Levi would go for it again. And Timothy scolded me. He said, "Dad, Mom put that there for a reason." Today we celebrate because God has put Laura in Eau Claire for a very special reason. I'd like to close with some thoughts from my wife, Erin. These are her words. "We have all boys. I love my boys, even Seth. God gave me boys for a reason, and I'm so thankful and blessed by them all. I pray for them to find wonderful Christian wives, and I get an extra bonus, a daughter. Someone who sides with me at the dinner table and can talk about anything, including baseball. Laura has fit with our family from the very beginning. Speaking of the beginning, a few years back, Tim and I were landscaping in our garden. We were working along when his speech got louder, his movements more animated, and he had a big smile on his face. I followed his gaze and saw Laura walking quickly past our house. I'd never seen him look that way before. He was smitten, enamored, and charmed. He had fallen for the girl next door. They started dating a short time after. A few years later, he came into the kitchen and grabbed a handful of salad directly out of the bowl. Jokingly, I told him, "You're never going to find a wife eating like that." But he put his arm around me, smiled, and said, "I already have." We've all come to love the girl next door, and today we have 5 sons and a daughter. Laura, Erin, and I couldn't be more thankful that God has blessed Timothy with you.
From up top of the hill, the girl next door went through phases when it came to her attitude toward Tim. We arrived when she was halfway through her 6th grade year at Messiah School. Tim was in her class, and at first we'd be teasing Laura, and she was always a very good sport about it. We'd say, "Oh, you like so-and-so?" She says, "Oh yeah, we're in love, we're getting married," no matter who it was, including Tim. "Oh, he's just down the hill. You love Tim, don't you?" "Oh yeah, we're getting married," she said at 12 years old. Well, it went from that phase to the point where she was so mortified to be seen by him out his front window that she wouldn't allow her mother to drive her past the Schallers. They had to go around the north side. That would have just been too embarrassing. And then when they got to be about sophomores in high school, I tried to tease her about being in love with Tim, and she got all deadpan and said, "Dad, you can't tease me about that anymore." Laura, when I don't remember if she was 11 or 12, she made a scrapbook, and the front page of the scrapbook says, "Laura Naumann won't marry you if." On the inside it said things like, "Laura Naumann won't marry you if you wear
Topsiders.
topsiders Laura Naumann won't marry you if you ride a recumbent bike. Laura Naumann won't marry you unless your name is Jared. So how's that feel, Jared? I mean, Tim. So she soon got past that phase, and when we noticed that she and Tim were seeing each other pretty regularly, Paula made a bold prophecy that if Laura was to show an interest in fishing and baseball and country music, she'd know it was all over. And all those three things happened. She checked every box, and finally the Lord made it plain to them that they were meant for each other. We're very pleased that He's brought them together this day, and we'd like to welcome Tim into our family as Laura has been welcomed at the Schallers. Before I close, I'd like to mention you're looking at the world's hardest working bridal party. Between the fellas and the ladies being up here early and setting up, and we've gotten to know Emily and Kendra and Katie very well. They've been over at our house working on decorations and cookies and clothing and all kinds of things, so we should give it up for the hard-working bridal party. Boyd Catering did a fine job. Thanks, fellas. I'd like to offer our sincerest thanks to all of you for joining us on this day of God's blessings of our grown-up children in the household they're beginning today. Thank you.
Hello everybody, I just wanted to thank you all for coming. It's made it a really special night. I hope you guys all had a good time. Thank you and good night.
Kiss me, I love the bearded barley madly beside the green grass. Swing, swing, swing the spinning step. You wear those shoes and that will wear that dress. Oh, kiss me beneath the milky twilight. Lead me on the moonlit floor. Lift you up again, strike up the band. The fireflies dance, silver moon sparkling. So kiss me.
the wrong song, sorry guys.
Your dad told me that you have a
In my daughter's eyes, I am a hero. I am strong and wise, and I know no fear. But the truth is plain to see. She was sent to rescue me. I see who I wanna be in my daughter's eyes. In my daughter's eyes, everyone is equal. Darkness turns to light, and the world is at peace. This miracle God gave to me gives me strength when I'm weak. I find reason to believe in my daughter's eyes. And when she wraps her hand around my finger, how it puts a smile in my heart. Everything becomes a little clearer. I realize what love is all about. It's hanging on when your heart has had enough. It's giving more when you feel like giving up. I've seen the light in the dark. I hope the days come easy and the moments pass slow, and each road leads you where you wanna go. And if you're faced with a choice and you have to choose, I hope you choose the one that means the most to you. And if one door opens to another door closed, I hope you keep on walking till you find a window. If it's cold outside, show the world the warmth of your smile. But more than anything, more than anything, I wish for you that this life becomes all that you want to. Your dreams stay big, your worries stay small. You never need to carry more than you can hold. And while you're out there getting where you're getting to, I hope you know somebody loves you and wants to say things to you. Yeah,
I do like those sounds.
but more than anything, yeah, more than anything, I wish kiss me. I love the bearded barley.